Okay, we're on the task, and these two players are duking it out. It's the blue Protoss spawning in the top right, it's Piscolita. And to the bottom left in red, we have the Terran Sylvanas. Both ladies being extraordinarily sportsmanlike. With both writing GLHF. So, the obligatory depot at the ramp in order to wall off ramp, which is now necessary in Legacy of the Void due to adepts. In the other two expansions, as Terran, you didn't need to wall off against Protoss, but now we have adepts shading in and out of your base, and the only thing that keeps them from shading in and out are buildings. So that's what normally every Terran does now. You want to keep your base closed. A lot of Terrans even opt to go for another wall off, either here at the top of the ramp or at the bottom of the ramp, which actually at the bottom of the ramp it takes one less depot to wall it off, so you can just close this depot wall as well if adepts manage to get into your base by warp prism, for example. So if the shades want to go like from this part of your base down to that part of your base, you can just close these depots and keep them from getting there. But of course it takes quite some time and a lot of resources to do so. It's quite expensive, and you have to always be on point with your depots in order to do that. But it works out quite well once you did it. So, Nexus down here for Piscolita. She has her gateway already done. Typical gateway expand and the two gases for Piscolita right now. There is the command center incoming for Sylvanas. Well, she's already taken her first gas, first Reaper on the way, which is most of the time just a scouting Reaper. She wants to get inside the Protoss base in order to get some information what her opponent is up to and what tech choice, what she's up to, and what tech choice she's going to make. So, depot down the making, and a reactor, so marine production can start right ahead once this reactor has been built. So command center still in the making, Nexus almost done, so a little bit of an economic advantage for Protoss, which is not as unusual since most Protoss now use their their Chrono Boost, sorry for that. Most Protosses opt to use their Chrono Boost for droning, or for building workers this time. Okay, nice Reaper Grenade shot here, so we have a lot of wounded probes already, so one probe being pulled away, and then Sylvanas not letting herself lure, or not letting her Reaper being lured into the trap of probes. Now has to retreat because of the Mothership Core, but she's already managed to kill one probe at least. Ah, nice, the shading of the Adept, but the Reaper escapes with the help of the high ground. And the Adept now has only the possibility either to go on scouting himself, or just trying to get the Reaper. Actually tries to do that. While just, checking for... Yeah, actually nice idea by Piscolita here. She just wanted to check for the Reaper over here. Might have even gotten it if Sylvanas hadn't paid attention. And still even using the superb mobility of the Adept Shade in order to also get the scout done quite early. So Sylvanas just going inside again, but there's a Stalker and a Mothership Core already waiting for her, so she's not getting any more scouting information except this gateway and maybe this robotics facility if she was... clicking at it. So, the Adept won't manage to do anything, and now we're at the part, like I said before, we have this wall off because the Shade can't get through, and that's why you normally wall off as a Terran nowadays. And Legacy of the Void, which, like I said, you didn't really have to do in the other two expansions. Okay, a lot of Marines already out, so this Adept now has to walk away. Actually a Cyclone coming in, so it seems as if Sylvanas is really afraid of Warp Prism drops of any kind. So she wants to have a Cyclone just in case any sort of flying unit, especially Warp Prism, tries to come inside her base, so she can just focus fire it and shoot it down. So that's what she normally wants to do. Okay, saturation at 9 out of 16 probes back. 11 and 12 out of 16, so it actually looks as if Sylvanas is already caught up in workers. Not quite, but she has 3 mules going for her, so her income is tremendously better than that of her opponent, except for the gas, which is actually not that much needed for the kind of build that Sylvanas is going for, which looks actually like a mine marine timing, which is quite interesting. I don't know if she wants to drop these mines and then just use these marines for defense, or if she really wants to get over there and try to apply some pressure with all of her army. We'll see to that in just a few minutes. She obviously goes for the bio build, building more barracks here, having a third command center in the making, so she's not behind in any position. Actually, her army supply is a little bit better than that of her opponent. Worker supply, like I said, quite even, but the advantage of mules just giving Sylvanas the better income right now. Okay, double pronged attack right now. So we have a mine and a few marines inside that medevac. Only marines inside this one. Actually, it seems as if she didn't really put the mine into the medevac first, so it won't drop out first, which is a bit unfortunate for her. This is something that Terran players normally want to be careful about, that the mine really drops out first so you can borrow it instantaneously, and the opponent, there it is now, 2, and then the mine. So the opponent won't have that much time to react, but she doesn't even burrow it right now, so it looks like Sylvanas is still occupied with the drop down here, but it looks as if she loses everything to that pylon cannon, so she didn't really make that much damage, but 7. Okay, there was the mine hit, finally. Okay, yeah, there's the mine still down here, but the observer comes back and now it's got killed. Okay, at least 7 workers, but she's lost. Did she lose the... Okay, she still has the medevac, that's good. And she still has 2 marines in the medevac. Yeah, losing a lot of marines. I don't know if it was really worth it. I mean, like I said, she's got 7 pros, but she's lost what? That was 6 plus 4 was 10, and the mine, so 10 marines and a mine. I don't know. It really depends a little bit on the follow-up push. So the follow-up plan. If Sylvanas manages to apply a lot of pressure now to the third base in a short amount of time, it will probably be good for her because her opponent has lost a lot of workers, thus having her income destabilized a little bit. So it might be problematic to have the right amount of units at the right time, but the longer the game goes, these 7 probes won't matter much. So the orbital command now flying down, so Sylvanas having a third base a little bit behind her opponent. So, but I mean, have a look at her production tab. Just have a look at that, how long it is. I mean, see what she's producing already. Okay, there's the Robotics Bay incoming, so maybe for Colossus, maybe for the Disruptors, we will see what Piscolita chooses to do. A lot of Protoss have gone back to the Colossus since the buff, but I don't know if it's really that reliable. I mean, the Colossus still is only a shadow of its former glory, so a lot of players still want to go for the Disruptor because it just dishes out more damage, although it's a little bit less reliable. So we see that. Another drop incoming by Sylvanas. She's already... Oh, even I like that a lot, what she does here with the Marines, just having a single Marine checking all the lanes, and even these 2 Marines back in front of here. So she really gets a lot of vision out of these 4 units, which will help her tremendously. Stim has now finished, so now this Terran army becomes much stronger, and a lot more fierceful. A lot more fierce, sorry, that was actually the word I was looking for. So, but Piscolita on top of her upgrades. So there's another drop incoming. This time it's only Marines, but a lot of Marines, so it takes a long time for Piscolita to just get away with these units. Nicely moving into that corner of the map, but now she has to boost out before these Stalkers just come close enough in order to get these drops. That was actually a nice push. This was actually a nice harassment done here. 6 probes killed. Denied some mining time, and now the Protoss has to get all the probes back to the mining line, to the mineral line, and has to put the workers back into the gas, even missing 2 now here. So these are the little mistakes you force out of opponent if you drop on a regular basis as Terran. It can be quite annoying for Protoss, if you do it correctly. So, and now the big push with a lot of Liberators, Mines and Bio coming in. She's probably... she even tries to harass a little bit more. I don't know if I like that all too much. I think it might be better to just get these medevacs, so back to the main army, in order to focus on the full push. But of course it would have also been a nice idea to just lure back all that army and then just siege the front with all the Liberators. And now of course she has to be careful. Piscolita knows exactly what's coming. She just sends forth the Adept Shade and knows now that there are a lot of Liberators. Actually, she has a lot of Stalkers, but does she have Blink? Not yet, but it's incoming. So she has to buy a little more time. There's the Disruptor incoming. Now, Disruptor won't help that much. She shoots it forward, so Sylvanas already retreats with her bio not losing everything, but of course, not losing anything. But of course, her bio now is really damaged because she's stimped and had to run back without dealing any damage. So Liberators now coming forth. Yeah, but they are just sieging up. Just above the Stalkers being shut down immediately. Bio is dishing out a lot of damage in the meantime while the Stalkers are just focusing on the Liberators. Now again, focus firing the Liberators, The Immortals dealing out so much damage to this mostly Marauder-based army, but of course now the mines are coming in, doing some heavy hits here. Yeah, still, Sylvanas didn't really dish out the damage I think she wanted to do. Maybe she even wanted to finish the game back here, but the Piscolita is down to 98 supply overall. She's taken a 4th base in the meantime, which Sylvana hasn't, but she's doing it now. So, again, she's only a little behind, but still up in upgrades. Well, both of these ladies are just great doing with their upgrades. My god, it's 2-2 for Piscolita, it's 2-2 for Sylvanas. The three upgrades... or the 3-3 incoming for Sylvanas, only 3-2 incoming for Piscolita. She doesn't really have the necessary... Well, actually she does. Where's her second forge? Oh, it's not doing anything. It's just being chrono boosted, while the other isn't. A bit unfortunate here. So just getting more scouting information. We have more and more disruptors incoming, and the question is what Sylvanas is going to do against that. I mean, you can reasonably... you can deal with disruptors reasonably well if you're splitting and pre-splitting is good, but these disruptor balls are fast, don't get me wrong. So if you don't look at your army at the wrong point in time, it might be very problematic. But then again, I like Sylvanas' move once more. She has a lot of scouting information all over the map, so she really knows where her opponent is, and there you can see it. Bam bam! There the disruptor ships come in, and a lot of bio dies instantaneously once it hits, because the disruptor shots still are a little bit faster than Stimp Bio. So yeah, if your reaction time is just a little bit too slow, it might be problematic for you to evade the shots. More disruptors coming in. Now the Liberators getting sieged. We have the army moving under the liberation zones, or inside the liberation zones more likely. There are another shots coming in, so the Sylvanas has to stim back and not getting shot by them. Quite nicely done. So Pylon dying, more units being warped in, but it's mostly Stalkers, and we have a lot of damage output for Sylvanas here. This is going to be a tense fight. I mean, the supply numbers really speak for Sylvanas, but just 1 or 2 big disruptor hits could turn the tide. So she has to be very careful and very patient here. There they are, the big disruptor shots, bam, 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 just killing off a lot of that bio army, but still a lot of units already dying beneath these liberation zones, which are so deadly. And while the Stalkers are shooting the Liberators, they won't be able to shoot down the army. The Immortals dishing out as much damage as they can. Mostly only Marauders left now, but the last Immortal is going to die. And now it's Marauders against Stalkers, which is never a good fight for the Protoss. And I think that has to be it. I mean, even if Piscolita should be able to clear this at some point in time, which I don't think she will be. No, definitely not. She's now lost her 3rd base. It wouldn't be so problematic because she has a force up and running. But yeah, there's the pain train already stimmed to death. These army units are almost dead before they even arrive at the front, but it just doesn't matter. There's just so few Protoss left. 90 more probes have died, but that's not the important thing. Oh, there's one disruptor shot maybe incoming. Oh, Sylvanas just sees it thanks to her nicely put down scan, and now she knows what's coming. Yeah, she actually doesn't need to force an engagement right now. She can easily just pick off that 4th base, and now she's way ahead. Even with losing this much army to the disruptor shot, it doesn't even matter. Like I said, there's more bio just stimming and moving in, being, like I said, almost dead even before they arrive the front. But like I said, this just doesn't matter. I mean, the main base is almost totally mined out, the natural as well. She can just dry her to death now if she wants to. Just lead the war of attrition and just dry her up completely of minerals and resources, and then she's just won. It's 200 to 91. Who am I kidding? This game is over, ladies and gentlemen. Piscolita just has to realize it herself. there's nothing really she can do. I mean, she doesn't even have the potential to do some counter-harassment. She could actually just stop making more disruptors and building at least one warp prism, so she might be able to fly around the map and just apply some counter pressure to her opponent. That might help her at some point. Sylvanas trying to do a cute little drop over here. Now even dropping in with the rest of her army. She doesn't really want to go up the ramp, obviously, because a disruptor shot would just kill everything. So she just decides to drop here, spreading her army a little bit. More disruptor shots coming in. Now there's actually more disruptor shots than she could take if all of them would hit. But that was the part what I was talking about. That's why a lot of Protoss players at the moment like to go for Colossus instead, because they deal the more reliable damage, although it's not as big. Because the disruptors are just useless once they fired their shots for a long period of time. And Sylvanas takes the first. So we're back on Ruins of Enyon. Spawning to the bottom right, it's the blue Protoss Piscolita. And to the bottom left in red, it's our Terran Sylvanas. Who goes for the wall-off once more. Yeah, both ladies showed us a nice little macro game in the last game, where Sylvanas managed to get the upper hand in the end with a lot of Liberators and Bio and some mines. But both ladies really on top with their upgrades, especially. Just Sylvanas managed to get the little edge with her engagements, which were quite nice, and a good map vision that helped her to always know where the Protoss army was, not running into those horrible and disastrous disruptor shots once they hit. If they hit, they can be disastrous. If they don't, they can also be disastrous, but for the Protoss. Okay, Piscolita just checking for that SEV, just thinking about, do I really want to chase him? No, I don't. And then just sending it back to its mission to scout the base. Yeah, both SCVs, both worker scouts almost arriving at the same time. We have Piscolita just moving over here, sending down the Nexus, standard gateway expand, nothing unusual here by her. Same for Sylvanas, who just will go for another Reaper, I guess, because that rally point tells us a lot about her plans. So, and then probably going for the yeah, that might be quite interesting now. So Piscolita will even be able to just deny the space for a little more. A bit annoying here. Oh, actually doing the pylon. She will probably cancel that, but will force Sylvanas now to build her command center at a different location. So she has to lift it later on and then just put it here. Yeah, now canceling it. But of course it's too late for Sylvanas now to cancel her command center. She would lose a lot of money and also building time off of that command center. So she opts, of course, to finish it and then just lift it and put it down at the right place. That's normally what you want to do at that point. But of course, yeah, just getting a bit annoying with that little pylon over there and the denying with the probe there. So, Reaper now moving in, putting up this cliff. Now she sees that there's a base. Okay, now even moving over here. No! Oh, actually quite interesting. Maybe she suspects to be a mothership core or maybe even a stalker up here, so she doesn't really want to move up here. Not even getting a drone there, but not getting the in-base scout, which is a bit unfortunate now. Again, we have the same game again, and this time I think Piscolita will be able to get the Reaper now. Yeah, even, oh, that was nice. Even getting a shot down the shade just shifts over here, being able to shoot it once more. Oh, very nice mind games here. Piscolita really knowing actually where her opponent wants to go, just assuming the direction of her opponent. That was really nicely done, but still not being able to get it. But a nice little move here by her. So now the command center is finally finished, and now she's able to land it over here. But again, she's lost some time here and there, and it may pay off in the end. So in the meantime, we have a nice changing of builds. So Sylvanas, not the one-trick pony. She already has some different builds she wants to show us here. So it's barracks and then into factory and starports. So that's going to be quite interesting. Let's see what she's going to make off of this. Another cyclone. So again, the fear of the warp prism adapt push. And in the meantime, we have one pylon being overcharged. Did I miss anything? Maybe it was the Reaper. Okay, Reaper just trying to move in, being shot down by the photon overcharge. Maybe a bit of overkill with the overcharge, but that was what actually happened back here. So, barracks going down. We have, well, just the reactor, so it's going to be a normal medivac timing, I guess. So maybe she wants to, yeah, she's just sending her units here, so once the medivac pops, she'll lose even less time. So the medivac can fly over here, just load in these units, and then move over to that base. Actually well timed and nicely planned by Sylvanas here. You actually see the expertise and routine she's having with these sorts of builds, that she actually really knows where to move her units right after spawning, so that she'll just save a little amount of time, which actually might not matter that much. But it's again just a little bit, just a little edge, just a small thing to do. Okay, nice scan, sees actually everything she needs to know, all the tech that's being built. So Sylvanas is fully aware of what's going on in Piscolita's base. Let's have a look at the income. A little bit more for Terran, which is quite usual. A little less workers, but fewer workers for Sylvanas here, but the mules make up for that. And there we have it. Another drop, again with a mine. So, and like I said, once more, the mines not being loaded in first, so they will not drop first, which is a bit unfortunate. Because that's, like I said, I mean, especially if you see... Okay, so this move was actually not to load in. Okay, never mind what I was saying! I was actually giving her too much credit here. I really was thinking she wanted to just load this into medivacs and then just move over here, but she didn't. So this is just a little defense squad she has here. In order to fend off any warp prism harassment. So she is really paranoid about those, especially since Piscolita has not played a warp prism adept push once in this game. But yeah, obviously Sylvanas, every player has something he or she is really afraid of. So, and warp prism adept pushes seem to be... Oh, nicely done by Piscolita here. Just pulling out a few of these units so that not all of the ball will get hit by the Widow Mine. So now she needs to wait for the observer to come back, and it takes so much time because the friggin' things are so damn slow, and there the miner has to die. So 3 bases once more, it's another macro game, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, Piscolita now having finished her Nexus almost at the same time the command center is landing. So Sylvanas and Piscolita again pretty tight with everything. So more warp gates moving in. Again, they're on point with their upgrades. It's 1-0 with 2-0 incoming. And Sylvanas has... Sylvanas not that much this time, so they are the 2 engineering base, but they're not doing anything at the moment. Although she even has the money, so she could start the upgrades, maybe forgetting it. Maybe a little bit unaware about them. So we have Blink incoming, always good to fend off drops, which are already incoming. So it seems as if Sylvanas just wants to get over... Oh, this will... Or this might be devastating here, because Sylvanas just moves right into the vision of that observer. And Piscolita has shown again and again that her map awareness is pretty good. So she should see that and should know what's coming. There are the units already moving. Ugh, I don't actually know if I like this. Oh, this might be the anti-timing. She moves in to intercept these... Oh, okay, the Sylvanas realizes this quickly enough. Yeah, that was actually a bit of an anti-timing. I mean, Piscolita moved out to intercept... Oh, she still might get them! So maybe it works out after all, although it shouldn't have. It could have been really, really bad now, because she's just moved out to intercept these medivacs while they were just moving in, and the rocks hadn't been pulled down. Okay, Sylvanas just got rid of... What assholes! I mean, these pilots! What's up with them? They just got rid of their units and then just flew away! Come on, what's going on with you medivacs? Wow! Just unloaded every single unit back to here and then flew away. Well, good for you, they are all dead, because they come and haunt you in your sleep. I mean, what's going on? Yeah, now taking down the rocks, but that could have been catastrophic. They're just moving out with every single anti-air unit to intercept it, and then the medivacs just flying over here, and you can get into your base quickly enough because the goddamn rocks are not down yet. That could have been a lot worse than it worked out. Actually worked out quite well at that moment, getting all the insides of the medivacs. before it could fly away. So in the meantime, again, both players just not trying to attack at all, not even a big harassment. Sylvanas actually the only person trying to do some harassment at all. Piscolita just leaning back, building up her Protoss army, trying to get the upgrades, trying to get the overwhelming power of the Protoss army, and then just waltz over her opponent. I don't know if she will be able to do so. She tried it in the last game, didn't work out. Maybe it'll work out better this time, but this is a lot of Liberators once more. And if Sylvanas gets into a comfortable spot, sieged up with all the Liberators, this might be problematic. Actually, I like this first move of Piscolita, where she just tried to move around. Oh, because I think that would have been a lot better choice. But yeah, this base dies, which is a bit unfortunate. Getting this base free is always good for any player. But yeah, I would have liked this a lot more, just moving around before these Liberators can unsiege, and then maybe getting them in a siege position where they can't really shoot you. But yeah, this is not too late. I mean, you can't really engage under that unless you have a death wish. Okay, Sylvanas just... Oh, and this might be a base trade situation right now. Sylvanas just going for the 4th base. Oh, leaving it alone immediately after realizing that her opponent... with that sensor tower. After realizing that her opponent seems to be all in, with just moving in with all the army. Oh, losing a lot of units for free already, but this is only bio now. The Liberators have already come back. Piscolita now tries to focus fire down the Liberators before they can siege up, and now she has to fight under Liberation Zones against all this bio and the Liberators, but she's dishing out a lot of damage. Holy hell is she dealing damage! And it seems as if it might just slightly be enough to kill off the Terran bio. It has Sylvanas. Sylvanas has not really recovered from that hit yet. She is already being, she's already producing 11 Marines at a time. And oh, Piscolita even has to move back, so she's now down 1 base. Having killed a great chunk of the army, she's a little bit ahead. Upgrades finishing now. It's 2-1 with 3-2 in just a few seconds, while her opponent is just on 1-1 and 2-2, far from getting done. Still mines in the mix on the field, which might be problematic. And her, yeah, actually losing this base wasn't all too problematic for Piscolita, because she's already had this base up. She evacuated all her probes soon enough, so she didn't lose any of them, I think. Could just transfer them down here, so the mining was just interrupted for a few seconds. And now she even has her 4th base and her 5th base up once more. So yeah, quite nice actually. While Sylvanas just has to clear these rocks, trying to do another push up to this base, which is totally unprotected right now and really far away. So the only thing Piscolita can really do is try to evade these probes as soon as she realizes that her opponent drops her, and then just sacrificing this base because she will never be able to save it in time. Maybe with the Mothership Core and recalling to that position, but does she even have a Mothership Core? She has, but it's nowhere near the army. So yeah, this base is gone. This base is a goner! No chance for her to save that. And just like I said, trying to save... Oh no, she actually totally pulled these probes away. Like I said, she won't be able to mine from that base anymore. Even getting lured out here, I don't know if it's really worth it. I mean, she won't get her anyways, so just moving over here, even getting shot a lot by that one Widow mine that was still sitting here. Yeah, losing 5 probes in the process. Oh, but Sylvanas not paying attention, losing both of her Medivacs at the top of the map. They were almost safe if she just retreated back to that point of the map instead of that one, where Stalkers could still reach her. So now she paid dearly for those few probes and a base. I mean, of course, killing a base is fine, but not if you lose your entire drop over it. Because that's a lot of gas and even minerals you've invested into these 2 drops. Oh, very unfortunate. Still sitting close to that mine. Ooh, okay, nothing happened here. So, but in the meantime, she's managed to get a planetary fortress at her own 4th, establishing that quite well. Okay, a lot of upgrades finishing in just a few seconds, but Piscolita having the better ones. It's 3-1-2, while Sylvanas only has 2-2 completed now. So a small advantage, but it might matter. Okay, a lot of Liberators being sieged up, so this is really a death zone. You can't engage into that. But you don't need to. You can even go through these rocks and just try to kill this base. She checks for that base as well. Dark Templars now even being in the mix. Yeah, I really like Piscolita's play here, if she just had a little warp prism now, well, it might not be able to do much because there's a big turret line, but you might always find a small gap where you can do something. I mean, there's no turret down here, so you could just kill some probes. There's no turret over here, so you might be able to smuggle in one of the Dark Templars or two. Okay, now the big engagement is there. Oh, a lot of Liberators only sieging in the last moment. And now being shot down by the Stalkers immediately, but they're dishing out so much damage in the meantime. Yeah, you just cannot fight until multiple liberation zones. That was a hard hit. It's like running into sieged lurkers. It's just suicide, and you could see it, ladies and gentlemen. We were live at it when somebody committed suicide into liberation zones. That was awful to watch. Yeah, now there's really no chance for Piscolita to get back into this game. It's 181 to 129 in supplies. Actually, no way for her at the moment to even kill these damn Liberators. Never mind the bio that's down here as well, and even more Liberators coming in. I mean, Liberators can't kill buildings, so that's the task of the bio, but yeah, well, what can you do? I mean, you can't even engage the bio. The only good thing is that there are still some Dark Templars in it, and Sylvanas hasn't realized it yet, but there's the scan. And down they all go. This is it. Sylvanas takes it 2-0. And needs only one more game to take the series. Piscolita being stubborn as always. Just refuses to give up. I mean, she's dropped below 100 supply, and normally at that point there's nothing you can do. Like I said, even if you manage to hold your base for now, the next push will just kill you for certain. I mean, of course, I can understand it for part. She still has 2 mining bases, but her infrastructure is just getting damaged, and there's nothing she can build that really kills that army. I mean, like I said, even if she manages to kill that bio, what will she do against those Liberators? They're just wrecking everything that gets into their range. And yeah, she might be able... no. She might be able to hold on now. I just thought for a second, but there are the Medivacs just healing up all the bio. More bio incoming, streaming across the map. I think it would be wise for Sylvanas still to take another base, but I think she knows that she doesn't need to do it, so why bother? And I'd really like to hype this game a little more, but there's nothing left to hype, ladies and gentlemen. This game is over! Even DTs won't do anything at that point. At least giving Sylvanas all the pleasure to kill all these filthy Protoss buildings. Crying, die, die, die in the meantime, as she's doing it. Yeah, and that's it. So, I mean, that's over. There's nothing you can do. Even okay, trying to rebuild her Nexus and some gateways back here. Oh, come on! I mean, this is ridiculous now. Yes, I mean the I mean, yes, it's the game says in order to win you need to kill all of the opponent's buildings, but come on, this is ridiculous now. Okay, GG, and there it is, 2-0 for Sylvanas. So we're on Frost, and spawning to the bottom left in red, it's the turn Sylvanas, and she only needs one more game to take the series. And to the bottom right in blue, it's Piscolita the Protoss. She needs to win 3 games in a row, which is always a tough thing to do. 1 win would at least be the first step towards it, and may give her back her comfort in the matchup. So let's see, both ladies have went for big macro builds in both games. No cheese, as it looks like right now. Maybe Piscolita might go for the all too feared Warp Prism Adapt push. She doesn't know that Sylvanas is really afraid of that, obviously. Otherwise she might have tried to exploit it. Yeah, Probe gets a good scout of actually nothing. I mean, there's gas being taken, which is quite normal for the Reaper build. So yeah, nothing new here. So it's going to be Barracks into Reaper once more, and then we'll see what Sylvanas is going for this time. Probably going for quick Medivacs once more, because she likes her drop plays, as we've seen 2 times already. So if she really won't change her plans, it should be an early starport build. Some kind of early starport build. So probably a factory afterwards. Of course, a base first, the command center, and then probably into, once these 100 gas pops, into a factory maybe. No, first the reactor. Okay, never mind. Yeah, right, I forgot that. She goes into the reactor then. And then into, yeah, but this even more shows us that she wants to go into a factory build, because she doesn't want to add more barracks in order to get out more bio, but she wants to have some bio forces in order to defend herself. So she goes for the reactor in order to have a double bio production, double marine production, so that she can afford to go into this factory over here, and then into starport, so that you will have medivacs available early in the game, as if you'd go for 3 barracks opening. Okay, maybe even killing this probe. Nope, there's the mothership core. Reaper has to retreat, so no first blood yet. Second gas incoming, we need that for the starport and other upgrades we want to build. Add-ons, I meant. Sorry for that. So Twilight Council incoming. Oh, that's actually quite risky. We have no robo here and no detection at all, not even a forge with which we could build some cannons in order to get some protection. So if Sylvanas once more goes for some sort of early Widowmine drop, it might be problematic for her opponent, because a observer might not be out in time. Okay, getting in with the Reaper, getting a good scout. This is actually quite interesting for Sylvanas now. She's clicked on it, so she knows that's a Twilight Council. Losing the Reaper, but that was totally worth it. The full surround scout. Very well done by her. So she now knows what she's up to. Not going for Widowmine immediately. I would have loved that reaction now, but nope. So it's just the good old Cyclone in order to get rid of, which is actually, like I said, quite interesting, because she doesn't even need to be afraid of a Warp Prism coming in right in the next few minutes, because yeah, there was no Robo Bay. There's now Robo Facility, sorry, and there's now. But yeah, like I said, I mean, if she's just gone for mine, it might just have been quite too late. But again, the Cyclone costs some gas, it takes some time to build. She might have had the possibility for a nice mine drop, but it's over now, so never mind talking about it. Don't cry over spilled milk. Doesn't really make sense. Then again, we don't even have any turrets up here, which could have also come, but yeah, there's the scout and there's the Dark Shrine. Oh, lucky scan for Sylvanas. And actually, or maybe bad building placement by Piscolita, however you want to look at it. Might have wanted to get that Dark Shrine built at some other area, because, I mean, scanning right above the main nexus is quite typical for a lot of players. And in this case, she's just seen it and reacted immediately with the missile turrets being put up. So now we have detection at all the bases, and Dark Templars won't be able to do that much shit. I mean, they still can if you manage to get them in and keep them out of the turret range. They can still cause a lot of trouble. Sylvanas could, of course, just try to save 1 or 2 scans to be absolutely safe, but I think with the missile turrets up, she just trusts that she'll be able to fend this off without any scans. And most of the time, even as Terran, even if you want to save scans, most of the times you just throw the mules down nevertheless, because you're just used to throwing them down whenever you can, which makes it quite problematic. So even if your mind thinks, save your scan, save your scan, save your scan, your fingers just throw mule, which can be quite annoying if you lose a game because of that. But I think everyone who's played StarCraft has experienced that kind of problems every once in a while, that your mind thinks one way, but your fingers do whatever they want and what they have been trained to do. Okay, oversaturated base over here, but a lot of probes will probably be transferred down to that base once it pops. Very soon, very early third base by Piscolita this time. Sylvanas is not having a third up her own, she's just building it. So in this case, Piscolita really has the economic advantage. I don't actually know what Sylvanas changed in order to get that far behind economically. Last time it all went out, or it all worked out a little bit better. Okay, this time we have just an observer over here. I like Piscolita's map vision. Like I said, that's really one of her fortes, her map awareness and map vision. She always has a lot of observers and units out, or at the Zanaga towers, so she always knows what's coming her way and when it comes, so she can prepare well beforehand. I like that a lot. So this is a really nice, cute, small push. Okay, wow, very good eye by Sylvanas, just seeing the DT here scanning immediately. Oh, and the mines are now a bit problematic because, like I said, there's an observer out, but it's over here, and she doesn't really want to engage into that mine. She still has some time left to... Ooh, Mothership Core going down by the Widow Mine shot, actually, it looks like. So she still has some time left. Yeah, okay, Piscolita just lured out the mine shots, so now she can just kill the bio down here. Sylvanas just loads in, tries to get more damage done inside the main base. Cute microplay by her, even getting a few more drones with this action, while Piscolita just has to walk away or has to walk around all the way. Yeah, 10 probes killed. That was actually a quite successful drop, unless she loses it. So she loses it once more at some point, but this time she flies away far enough, so no way for the Protoss army to catch up. So still, the base still stands, so Piscolita can now try to get it saturated once more, but in the meantime, Sylvanas has used her time to get her own third base up and can now saturate it as well. She's a little bit behind economically, I'd say. No, she isn't actually. It's 52 to 54 now to 51, plus mules that will be dropped in just a few seconds, I guess, if she has enough energy left. And still, Sylvanas on top of her macro, I have to say. Look at that macro line here. It's looking pretty cute. Blink already going on, and Piscolita really on point again with her upgrades. I like that a lot. So these parts of the game are really her strong suit, as we can see. Having map awareness, knowing where the opponent is and where the opponent moves, plus her upgrades and everything, that works out pretty well. So Sylvanas just chasing the army with a few Liberators and Bioforce plus mines, so this might be a bit problematic now if the Liberators siege at a good point. Oh, Sylvanas just moving right above the photon cannons. Ah, good force fields here, unfortunately not close enough, so that these units were really trapped inside, but the Liberators all died due to the Stalker Fire, and this push gains Sylvanas nothing. So good defense by Piscolita here. Very well done. More barracks incoming. Sylvanas keeping her money low. Piscolita having some problems to spend all of the money, although it's sometimes quite normal for Protoss to get high on minerals, especially if you have a lot of gateways, because you just, or warp gates in this case, because you just need to wait, and now you could see it, you just need to wait until your warp gates are ready once more, and then you just warp in 10 units at a time, so all the minerals get burned in an instant. So this is quite typical for Protoss play. More bio coming in. We don't have that AoE available yet, but there's Storm incoming, and it's only away for a few seconds, and then this fight will become maybe insurmountable problematic for Sylvanas, because she doesn't really have anything to deal with High Templars at all, with AoE in general. I mean, she has her one mine, or even two mines? Even two mines. For her own AoE damage, and she has the Liberators, which are single target, but they shoot that quickly that they might as well almost count as area of effect damage. So yeah, Piscolita taking the fourth base. She's just chilling, taking her time. She knows she's in no hurry. She has a tech up, now Storm is all ready. And yeah, she even decides to move through the narrow choke point. So if her opponent tries to follow her through her, a Storm here and here would be devastating. So clumping up Terran army in choke points when you have storms is just great. Clumping up yourself when your opponent awaits you with a good concave at the bottom of the ramp is not a good idea. So yeah, just storming all the workers away. 16 workers die in an instant. And now she could even actually just wait. I would have loved this observer being pushed a little bit more forward, so she would have seen whether her opponent really wants to storm up that ramp or not. But Sylvanas is too clever for that. She already knows what's going on. Yeah, she's seen that observer with a first scan, so just pulling up with a few Marines, killing off that observer, and trying to stay in a defensive position. But that was a harsh hit. That was really a harsh hit. My god. Okay, now moving over to the left flank. Coming from that angle might help her to win this match, actually. Piscolita looking good now. She has a lot more supply than her opponent. Well, not a lot, but quite some more supply. A little less army supply, but that's not the problem. That's not what you can really look for. The more important part is the tech that Piscolita has. And after Disruptors, this time we see the fearsome... even getting... Oh, damn, what an anti-timing. Sylvanas was trying to drop the 4th base over here, but she didn't know that her opponent was sitting at the watchtower, so she loses 2 medivacs for free, which is a lot of supply, and some players even GG out after a loss like that, especially after seeing what the opponent has. So it's 1-1 at the moment against 2-2. 2-1 just finishing as the attack begins. Yeah, storms just being available en masse. So there's no real way. What does she actually do? It looks as if she had some problems with her hotkeyed army. This doesn't really make sense. I think she really wanted to go, or maybe she wanted to go in from 2 angles. Blinking into the base is Piscolita here. So yeah, Sylvanas just trying to get her army somewhere into a good fighting position. But now, since the Protoss army just stands inside her infrastructure, there's no real way in getting in here without being stormed at choke points, as I was saying before. And there they are, storms getting thrown all over, even storming the own Templars, but it doesn't really matter since all of the army of Sylvanas dies in 3 seconds, and that's GG Piscolita. Well, it gets up to 1-2. So, after losing the last match, Sylvanas' choice was King Sejong Station, and I'm not surprised, since she's our red Terran, spawning in the bottom right position. And Terrans love that map, don't you? You Terrans love that map. I mean, King Sejong Station is just great for Terran. You can't really dispute that. You have so many areas where you can drop, where you can siege liberators, where you can come in from different angles if you just tear down some rocks. You have a nice little Reaper stair over here. You can also come through the main part. You have possibilities to drop in here, just drop to the main, drop to the 3rd, drop to the main, back once more. So there's a lot of possibilities to go for drops and reign free over the map as Terran. So that's why a lot of Terrans love to play on that map, and a lot of other races hate to play on that map. But we'll see if Sylvanas can take an advantage out of the map design. She is up 2-1. So let's see what both players are going for. Probe moving in. Just being annoying with the SCV over here, but it's already finished its work, so there's no real chance to get it. Even a second SCV being pulled, so the probe won't be able to kill that off. Since a probe is regenerating shields, a probe can be able to kill an SCV even if it was damaged in the process before. So Reaper going out, this time not being rallied already. And the command center inside the base this time. Quite interesting. The last few times Sylvanas tried to build the command center outside as soon as possible, because it actually saves you a lot of time. It costs you so much money if you have to build the command center in your own main base. Sure, it's safer, but it's less economic, because you then have to lift the command center down to here, which takes quite a time. Of course, the amount of time is not unbelievably big, but it's some time, it's some mining time you lose through that. So you really don't want to do it if you don't have to. So Reaper moving in, Mothership Core coming out at the same moment, so no probe will probably die. Even doing the photon overcharge, killing the Reaper, which is really unfortunate for Sylvanas, because especially that first Reaper Scout is the one you want to keep alive for a second round. Because the first Reaper Scout normally doesn't give you that much of information. Up until now, Sylvanas has just seen the typical Protoss buildings you would expect to be here at that moment. So actually the scout wasn't really that necessary. Of course you want to know if your opponent might be cheesing you, so you normally want to check for the second base. She doesn't know about it, but she's seen the buildings inside the main base and the gas, so she can really guess that there must be... oh no, she actually knows about the second base, never mind. She's probably seen it with one of her scouts before. But yeah, so that's normally... you don't want to lose your Reaper, because up till now she's only seen the buildings she's expected anyways. So you really want to get that Reaper in for a second time in order to see the tech choice. And now she can't do that, or she has to build another Reaper, which of course is something you also don't want to do and don't want to sink gas in. So Adept a little bit of damage. The depot was not down, so the Adept could move in a little bit, but there were enough Marines to push it back because it was only one more. Still delaying the orbital command a little bit because Sylvanas had to micro this little fight over here, so she wasn't able to just lift the orbital command and put it down here as soon as it was finished. Now getting the information. Now she has to scan because she won't be able to get the necessary information once more. Sees the Stargate, which is an interesting choice at that point. I think Piscolita has seen that Sylvanas really likes to go into a Liberator play, and this time around she wants to have something against that. So she goes for a Stargate play and builds some Phoenixes, although Phoenixes are not that good against Liberators. Of course, if Liberators are sieged, they can't fight air units. But once they are unsieged, they just destroy light air units like Phoenixes, especially light air units that clump up a lot like Phoenixes. So I don't know if I like that choice. We'll see how it's going to work out. More Marines being pumped, mules being thrown, and we have the starport with the two Medivacs and another Cyclone. So Protoss players, beware if you are really... if you are playing against Sylvanas later during the FSL season, you really know you shouldn't try to Warp Prism harass her, because she always goes for that Cyclone. Really always. So you might want to think about it, whether you want to do a depth push with a Warp Prism or not. It still might work out if you've managed to find the sneaky point where you can just move in without being seen. So yeah, it might still work. But she's prepared. She is prepared. If it's going to work, is something different, of course. So Medivac taking the long route because she has been caught way too often during this series with her pants down. So Phoenix is over here. Yeah, or actually that, okay, drop defense would also work out, but unfortunately she's at the wrong point. Now moving the Phoenixes over here. She will probably get the Medivac maybe, but there's a lot of... yeah, maybe even get it. Now the Phoenixes move in. When the Medivac just decides to move back. Yeah, Sylvanas has already done her damage, now trying to fly away, but the Phoenixes are after her. Yeah, she unloads her freight because she already knows she won't be able to save them. And again, another Medivac just dropping all the units and then flying away. No, this time, okay, this is the better Medivac pilot than the one before. This one is true and loyal to his friends. Okay, but whoa, this is actually a nice surrounding here. I actually like these army positioning. This is really tactical. I like this a lot. Coming in from two different angles. And not even getting the Medivac, okay, but getting all the units inside it. So yeah, revenge for that cancelled base. But oh, even getting the Medivac, yeah, because Medivac speed doesn't last forever, unfortunately for Terrans. So Phoenix is now inside the base, trying to do more Phoenix harassment, so trying to get into the mineral lines and picking off some probes here and there, but there's a missile turret over here, so yeah, she might be able to pick off one worker here and there, but she won't be able to do that much damage overall. Will be a bit annoying, but that's all actually. So, but in the meantime, she will be able to take her own third base, which is quite nice, while Sylvanas has hers already down, not saturating it yet. Okay, there are the Phoenixes, like I said, being a bit annoying, but nothing more. So not much you can do there. And still, like I said, I don't know if this is really... I mean, it might be good against the drop defense, and yeah, I really think now this was a deliberate decision because of the map that Piscolita did here. Like I said before, Terrans love this map because of the drop possibilities, and Piscolita knew about that, so I think she just wanted these Phoenixes to be safer against any kinds of drops. And again, like Stargate opening discourages Zerg players to build mutas, some Phoenixes shown on the map even discourages some Terran players to even try to do drops, because it might be risky, because you might lose a full medivac or even 2 worth of units when trying to drop. I mean, of course, the Phoenixes can't be everywhere, so there always will be a possibility to drop, but of course there's the fog of war, and you don't really know where your opponent might be or might not be. So like I said, I mean, there will be a chance that you can get inside the base to do some drop harassment, but there also is the chance that you will just lose everything horribly. So you have to decide if you want to take that chance or not. So Sylvanas trying to saturate her third base while attacking with a few Liberators and Bioforces. And actually this might be a nice little push here with the Liberators siege up at a good position. Having mines down here will also help a lot. So now the Liberators are just moving around, mines down here, but there's already vision to see that. Okay, now the Phoenixes are just moving in, but like I said, I mean, the Liberators were not sieged at that point, now they are sieged. Okay, getting taken down by the Phoenixes and the Stalkers quite well, but not much left on the ground, and it seems as if the small Bioforce, well, will be able to clean up a lot of Piscolita's units here. She had to warp in Zealots as a mineral sink because she had to get some more army, but the retreating army is just dealing so much damage. Now Sylvanas in the meantime gathering a lot of resources down here, but what can she do? I mean, microing these units takes a lot of time and a lot of awareness from her, like Piscolita's. Piscolita just warping in some more units right now as well. And I'd say this push was really worth it for Sylvanas. She managed to deal a lot of damage and narrow down the army of Piscolita to just a few gateway units, and the Bio will just crush it without any big problems. Yeah, now the Liberators just kill these light units, or just one of the Phoenixes. Okay, and no more units coming in. Nice. Stutter step micro here by Sylvanas, just killing off all the Zealots that don't even have speed. More units rallying behind that. And yeah, now it's only a few Stalkers against a whole lot of Bio army. We have 1-1 upgrades against 2-1, but that still doesn't matter. Stalkers die so easily against Bio. But now finally we have Speedlots in the mix, so that might be... So now Piscolita should be able to shut that push down for good, at least for now. Still being down in supply a little bit. Nice kiting here by Sylvanas, but now she finally has to realize that she won't be able to do much more damage, and retreats into the medivacs and pulls back. Piscolita has helped for now. More army assembling at that rally point, while we have a command center in the making. No fourth base for Piscolita, and this might be problematic in the future. She's rather going for Blink and more upgrades. Again, just superb on the upgrades, I just love it. That's such a strength of Piscolita's play. She's always on point with her upgrades, so don't even think that she's not when you play against her. Templars now coming in. That's actually maybe... That's even actually... that might be... Sorry for my bad English there. That might be the problematic point of Piscolita's play here. She gets AoE damage fairly late, and yeah, has died quite often against these Liberator Marine pushes and Bio pushes. Yeah, trying to get some AoE damage with Archons, and of course some more health points into the mix to tank the damage. Yeah, Storm will be done in just a few seconds, and with Storm, this game might change in an instant. One bad engagement, where the Protoss just hits the opponent with a good Storm, can change the tide of a battle. So, Command Center just floating over to the fourth base position, which is quite normal for Terran to take the forward position, because you normally want to be aggressive as Terran, and if you are aggressive via that direction, it's of course always good to take the base into the same direction you want to engage to, because with engaging your enemy, you're also protecting your own base, which is a strategically wise idea. So actually, I think I'd actually would have liked it more for Piscolita not to take this as a force base, but this as well. But then again, she maybe wanted to be a little bit back to have more time to react. But yeah, I don't know about that. It's sometimes problematic and difficult to really decide where to put your fourth base. And a lot of your game actually evolves around that, or even revolves around that. that you really want to have a plan where to take your 4th base and why, and what your strategy is in order to protect it. And get aggressive at the same time, maybe. Do some damage to your opponent. That's the beauty of StarCraft 2, and it's difficult to master. So a lot of oversaturated bases now for Piscolita. Well, even taking a 5th base because she can. Actually, both players can. The big engagement, or the long engagement, it wasn't actually that big, but the long engagement over here just took both players so much time and so many resources, mental resources especially, so they just weren't able to spend all their resources in the fight. Oh, nice ghost! See, they could just change the tide as well. Moving in, just EMPing all of the army. Did they get all the Templars? They did! Oh, no storm available! So tragic at that point. There's no storm available. Every single Templar, and she had a lot of them, was just clumped on one little point. The EMPs hit fully, and no more energy left for any storms. Oh, tragic. This is so tragic to look at. Yeah, this force will stand no chance against an upgraded Bio Force without any AoE. Sylvanas takes it 3-1 with a decisive push-in with Ghost.